$100 a month on food? What do you eat? Oh, so what I do is I buy everything in bulk. What I like to do is I'll buy a bunch of stuff in bulk and I'll make a bunch of meals. I also don't let anything go bad. I find that a lot of the times people have a lot of food waste. Like they'll save like, I don't know, leftovers and then they just don't eat them and they just throw them away, right? And I think that's really bad. So I plan a bunch of meals in advance. One of the most expensive things that you can get is your protein source. Whatever that protein source is going to be, this is where all the money is. So what I do is I buy a quarter beef, which is a 225 pounds of beef once a year. And I put this into a deep freezer, which right now is in the shipping room of this house, but I'm putting a new one in my garage in the new place. And that is like a top loader freezer, right? Is the whole idea for that. This costs about between, depending on where you are, it's going to be like $400 to $600 USD in the US. So it's like $2-3 a pound for really good cuts of beef. And then what I end up doing is I just store this and then I use that whenever I want beef. Man, it's easy. And this costs me about 150 bucks and it costs $8 a year to power because top loader freezers are incredibly efficient. Insanely so. Grinder cut, that's all cut. I have a grinder if I want to grind meat and if I want to make sausages and things like that, I can do that. Yeah. Top loaders are economical, you wouldn't believe. Yeah, it's exactly it. So what I end up doing is I just store this, and that's like the grand majority of my costs. So then I'll go to a chef store, and I buy everything in bulk, and I'll get things like raw leeks, big things of like 20-pound bag of potatoes, and like all kinds of stuff. I actually freeze potatoes too. You know, anything that I want to do with that. I have a grinder? Yeah, I do. That's one of the things that I invested in was buying a grinder for myself so that I can more types of food. Also, learning to cook is a big deal. I cook all my own food. When I get fiber at the new house, one of the things that I plan on doing, because I talk about this stuff all the time, is I plan on putting together meal prep stuff and then streaming it. So I can show you guys what I will do for food and how much that food costs. So I'm going to get a bill together. I'm going to show you the costs associated with it. I'm going to show you the preparation for that, how many days that meal will feed me, and then all the cooking method for it, and show you how easy this really is. Because a lot of what I'm going to show you is Instant Pot. And Instant Pot is a pressure cooker that is just a button press pressure cooker that is super simple. Really, really easy. And one of the things that's really cool about this is Instant Pot recipes. Instant Pot the company actually releases thousands of recipes. Like you can go to their website and they just have thousands and thousands of recipes that you can access. And like, that's it. You could just make all this shit in the Instant Pot and it's great. Be like, I want to do honey orange glazed ham. Like, cool. Here's the recipe for it. And it shows you the course and everything like this. And this is all free. They just give it to you. So like, you don't have to worry about anything really. And this gives 6 to 8 servings, right? When you make that. So when you look at these types of things, making large groupings of stuff is great. And it's really useful. I also really like making ramen. So I'll show you this. Now you can't show this off. All right. This is secret because they'll ban me. I'm going to show you something. This is a secret. It's a secret folder. All right. It's my tasteful nudes. There they are. I know. They're really tasteful. Look at them. But this is like something that I'll generally make. So these are oyster mushrooms. I grow my own oyster mushrooms. You can make them in a bucket. Really easy. And I'll make like probably 40 pounds of oyster mushrooms and then I'll dry them all out. And I just have them, for the year. I make my own kimchi. So I make kimchi from scratch. I'll usually do about 20 pounds of kimchi when I do it. This is bok choy that I actually grew in my windowsill. So I grow bok choy as well. And I'm actually going to be making bok choy in the garden sometime soon because bok choy is really cheap and really easy to make. And it regrows. So after you like trim it or take a bunch of pieces off it, you just put it back in and it just makes another bok choy and it just keeps going, which is really nice. So like this entire thing cost me about $1.20 to make at the end of the day with all the ingredients involved and everything else on this. So like it's really easy. Also, you see this kind of orange foam right here? I put a piece of American cheese in my ramen a lot of the times because American cheese is just oil and you can use it as an oil base in your ramen and it makes it quite nice. It's mad cheap to do and it's just oil. And because you would use oil otherwise, but a lot of the other oils you would use would be, a little bit more expensive to do it and it's tasty this way. Yeah, you may put ... but try this. Like I guarantee you that this is delicious ramen. I do all kinds of stuff. You're showing your naked noodles to everyone? I know, dude. But no, this is the kind of stuff that I make, man. Like I cook for myself every day. Time to have a ramen off? Let's do it. We can have a ramen off. I can make super fancy ass ramen too. Mine is a kimchi and I would eat that. I love kimchi, but I find that kimchi in the store is usually not as good as kimchi you make at home. But if you're going to make kimchi, you need to understand that it is a fermented food. And if you do it wrong, you die. So don't do kimchi if you don't know what you're doing. Like, talk to people that are experts, learn about it first. There's a lot to learn so you don't get botulism. It's important, right? What time do you usually cook? So usually what I do is I'll do the whole stream, and then after the stream, I'll go home and I'll cook something, and then I'll make food and I'll eat it, and I'll go to bed. Sometimes I'll do it before the stream. Pasta is very money efficient. Yeah, no, pasta is super money efficient. I think one of the biggest things about pasta is if you're making pasta, you can make a shitload of pasta, which is great. But if you make pasta, you got to do it from scratch. I also bake. This is kind of a funny one. A lot of people didn't realize this. If my stream and game studio failed, I was going to open a bakery.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
That was going to be the other plan, because I had some money saved up and I was like, I'm going to try this, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to go open a bakery, which is really hard to do, but I bake bread every day and I have hundreds of recipes that I've made and all kinds of shit. That's why I was teaching Onigiri how to make my cheese bread, because it was like, this is one of the breads that I was going to make. What do you mean from scratch? I mean, you are building everything from, like, when you're trying to build pasta, you're not doing it from a kit. Basically what you'll find is this, man. If you take the original ingredients and you make something, the cost is going to be dramatically smaller than if you buy a kit, than if you buy a completed meal. And if you buy fast food, it's just astronomically large now. The farther away you get from starting from base materials, the more expensive your food is going to be. Every time. No matter what. Always.